to day 4 highlights at Henley Royal Regatta. Although the competition was hotting up as the weekend approached, the rowers met on Friday morning in wet and cold conditions. That, though, didn't deter Olympics-bound Oliver Zeidler, who met Poland's Szymon Poznik in the early morning drizzle.
Big race, and the start, they're ready to go. Ollie Zeidler, you can see to the right of your picture, the reigning world champion, all set for the Olympic Games. And you've got Szymon Poznik, the pole on the Berkshire station. Here's a man that has caused a fair bit of excitement by being at Henley Royal Regatta, Ollie Zeidler. It's predictably all about Ollie Zeidler, who is looking set to make his way into the weekend of Henley Royal Regatta. What an achievement. 27 years old, 3 previous Henley Royal Regattas, world champion in the men's single, and he could be a Henley champion come Sunday. Over the line he goes, class act. No dramas into the weekend, Ollie Zeidler.
Zeidler looking comfortable there with victory. Now he is going to be targeting his first ever Olympic medal this summer in Paris. One man who was no stranger to Olympic success, though, was Jack Beresford. He won multiple golds between 1924 and 1936. And I went to the River and Rowing Museum here in Henley to find out more about his remarkable story.
My name is Kate Trent. I'm the curator here at the River and Rowing Museum here in Henley. So River and Rowing Museum, obviously history of international rowing, but we also talk about the River Thames and of course the history of the town of Henley. Jack Beresford was the first rower to compete at 5 Olympic Games. He won 3 golds and 2 silvers. 2024 marks 100 years since he received his first gold medal at the 1924 Paris Games, also Paris this year. I believe he started in rugby, and then after injuries in the First World War, he transitioned into rowing, but he was very small for rowing, particularly compared to modern standards, so he's only 5'10", which kind of makes it all the more impressive that he achieved so much. When he retired, he still remained involved with the Olympics. He was part of the organising committee of the 1948 Games. He received a Diploma of Merit from the Olympics for that work and for his kind of contributions to the sport. So Jack Beresford won the Diamond Challenge sculls 4 times. He was also a steward of the Henley Regatta during his time here. Jack Beresford's an incredibly important name in British rowing history. Even the big names of today look back to him as their point of inspiration.
Jack Beresford's a legend within the sport. I never got to meet him when I was going for my 3rd gold medal in Barcelona. When he was going for his 3rd, he carried the flag into the opening ceremony, which I did as well. So I used that as inspiration. I would have loved to have met the guy, a legend within the sport, and that the records that he set up are still there and people still aim for it. Most people still know who he is.
Jack Beresford is one of the all-time greats, and his legacy will live on.
An incredible legacy for British rowers to aspire to. Now it is quarter-finals day here for many, and as the pressure ramps up, so too does the atmosphere in these amazing enclosure grandstands. And they had plenty to cheer about because there were some cracking races in the Town and Prince of Wales Challenge Cups.
The Town Challenge Cup next, Oxford Brookes University, you can see on the Berkshire station, poised and ready against the Dutch. Close to the boys early, the Dutch, and now veering out to the centre, over-correcting. They look like they've got plenty of pace, but they're going to be asked by the umpire to get back across the buck side of the water. You saw the white flag there from the umpire, getting the Dutch back on their side of the water. Here they are closest to the camera. They were fine for speed, just the direction an issue. And now they're going to fight to the line. This is going to be a fantastic finish because Trayton and Orca The Dutch boat to the left of your picture have led all the way to in front of Stewards, but Brooks trying to row through here, and they have managed to get the lead only just in a nick of time. Last few strokes, what a race in the Town Challenge Cup. The Dutch trying to hold on to their lead, but psychologically that'll have been an absolute hammer blow as Oxford Brookes University come through. They've timed that to perfection, steering issues in the Dutch boat, and a superbly executed race from Oxford Brookes, who took their chance when it cropped up. They seized on the moment, they saw they had that opportunity, and they went past the Dutch in front of Stewards.
We're now in the Prince of Wales Challenge Cup, and this is a great matchup here between the crew from Tideway Scullers, Proteus Eretes, the Netherlands, and Thames Rowing Club, I understand, is also part of this composite here on the Berkshire station. And they're going up against Star and Arrow Club. Well, here comes Star and Arrow. We predicted it. Jack Beaumont there, we saw in the bow seats. I think they're about to get a warning for their steering, and Beaumont has done this time and time again in the Prince of Wales Challenge Cup, in the Queen Mother as well. He knows this course like the back of his hand, so he will correct this, and they're moving through now. They're piercing through the composite, and they're going to be a canvas up. Can they do it again? They've timed it to perfection. Somebody said to me yesterday, never write off Jack Beaumont in a Henley Royal Regatta race. He will do everything he can to win, and I think this is absolute testament to that, along with Satch, along with Devereaux and Meyer. And my word, what a brilliant race here for this crew that came through the qualifiers, was thrown together for Star and Arrow. Half a length victory over the composite here, and they will go through to the semi-finals of the Prince of Wales Challenge Cup.
For some, Friday was a chance to secure their spot on finals day and keep their boats in here, the famous Henley boat tents. And in the morning session, there were 4 exciting semi-finals. In the Britannia, Thames Rowing Club and Mercantile of Australia were vying to be the first crews to make finals day.
Mercantile look unlikely to do that now, because Thames Rowing Club, another good performance from them. Lots of strength in depth at the club, and the Britannia Challenge Cup, providing nothing goes wrong in these last few strokes, they'll be through to the weekend.
Both crews have been very tested this race, very tired guys here crossing the line.
And that may cost Thames tomorrow when they have their next round, but they win by a length. The Australians who came through qualification, good effort from them, but their Britannia Challenge Cup campaign comes to a close now.
And Royal Chester had been taking some big names in their run to the semis, but faced off against a strong Molesey crew for a place in Sunday's competition.
There's the Cox for Chester. You can see Sarah Armstrong will be pleased with how this is unfolding. There was just a moment, quarter of a mile back, where it looked in serious jeopardy, but they've managed to get a grip of the race again.
It really did, and I think in this sort of racing you have to do that. When it's one-on-one, you can't let a crew just sit in front of you, and I think the Molesey crew did it really well, but Chester was just able to stay calm and stay relaxed and respond again, and it's sort of a credit to their, I guess, the atmosphere that must be in their boat, the calmness, and probably coming from the Cox and the calls that gave them the confidence to sort of just absorb the move and then push back again.
Well, pre-regatta, they've been billed amongst the favourites for the Britannia Challenge Cup, and you can see why. Good performance from Royal Chester there.
In the Y-fold, Tyne Amateur Rowing Club were on an early week roll, beating London B, London A and Mercantile, but they met their match in the semi-final against a well-drilled Marlow crew.
A brilliant performance Tyne have put in across not only this Y-fold Challenge Cup, but the crews in the Walgrave, the crew in the Thames, an amazing contingent coming down here from up north, but it will be the final row here for Andrew Tudor, Tommy Campbell, Corey Wilkinson and Will Shaw, unless anything very dramatic happens, visitors-esque, you know, from Cal back in the day in these final stages towards the booms, but I don't think it will. It looks like Marlow well on track, steering straight as a pin across the line. It will be close, 3/4 of a length perhaps. Tyne managed to pull back there as Marlow wound it down, but Marlow will go through to the next round of the Wyfold Challenge Cup.
And it was a battle between Thames A and Upper Thames on the other side of the Wyfold draw.
I think you can see a few Thames Blazers there on the banks. These guys will have a roar when they come to the final on Sunday, won't they, Angus?
Oh, definitely. Huge Thames contingent. It's a massive club, and they're a very proud club. They love winning. It's almost expected that they win, and they're going to be desperate to do it on Sunday. As we congratulations to them going through to the final.
Yeah, just really clean, really well executed from everyone in the crew. I think we did it pretty perfectly. We had a very good race, went out pretty hard, hit the big gear, and then just kind of worked away from that. And it was a really good race from Upper Thames. They kind of pushed us all away, so it was some really good racing. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. We saw Upper Thames put in a sprint around Remnant Club, where they boat from usually, and we were able to respond to that quite well. So, yeah, more in the tank. We're going to try and carry that forward to the final.
So that's two finals decided with Thames Rowing Club into both. They'll be taking on Royal Chester in the Britannia, and in the Wyfold they'll be facing Marlow. The action kept on coming though, this time with the junior men's quads.
The Forley Challenge Cup now for the junior boys quadruple sculls, and we've got White Marsh Boat Club USA A on the Berkshire station going head to head with Marlow Rowing Club on the Buckinghamshire station. And what a start there for White Marsh USA, Angus. They absolutely rocketed out of those first few strokes.
Yeah, they're absolutely up for it, aren't they?
Well, White Marsh USA have come here with the ambition of being the first ever American crew to win the Forley Challenge Cup. They believe it is possible, and off the end of the island, it looks like that semi-final place at these early stages is something within their grasps, and difficult, I think, at the junior level, coming here as an international crew. Marlow have gotten the better of them here, the local crew, who will be lifted by the Berkshire fans, and it's 2 seats to Marlow Rowing Club going in towards the steward's enclosure. White Marsh will have to give it one last crack of the whip here. They're winding through the ratings, and a clip of the water there, so easy to do. This under-19 Forley Men's Challenge Cup will be just Marlow Rowing Club by a canvas ahead of the American challengers, and that dream dashed of being that first American crew to win the Forley, I think, but we'll wait for that confirmed result. And there it is. Wow, Marlow, so mature of them to pace that just right.
The blue ribbon event here at Henley is the Grand Challenge Cup, and it's been competed for at every regatta since 1839. This year there is a 5-boat transatlantic entry, 2 crews from the UK and 3 from North America, including these 2, one from Canada and one from USA.
Go! I love this event, Grace. This is the best of around the world coming together to meet in these big boats in the 8s. Canada versus the USA. Can you get any better than this on the Friday of Henley?
No, you can't, and I would highly recommend, if you're down here at all over this weekend or today, to go down and watch the start of one of these Grand Challenge Cups. It's so loud. You go from that moment of silence to so much noise, so much power, and it's so, you can get so close here, which is so unusual. You can't really do that in any other regatta.
Look at that blade work, Grace, from this American crew, considering they have never rowed together, apart from this week here at Henley. And I think I was talking to the boys in the pair earlier this week. They said they've been in this boat together for about 3 weeks. That's pretty impressive.
It's very impressive, especially coming from small boats as well. Like, the styles and techniques are different from a pair to a 4 to a 8, but they seem to have really slotted that. And sometimes, honestly, in my experience, you get a little bit of a honeymoon phase in 8s, and that can be almost the nicest phase, because you don't really know what your issues are and what you do wrong. But this is, yeah, some very in-sync, uniform rowing, which is impressive.
Honeymooning at Henley, that's something I did back in 2022. Lovely, but that honeymoon phase has given them lots of lovely memories in that first opening heat of the Grand. Both of these crews not selected here, so the others all with a bye through to the next round, and they will face one of those selected crews next up tomorrow in the Grand Challenge Cup.
I thought it was a week full of build-up. This crew has been together for a little less than 2 weeks, or about 2 weeks, so a lot of excitement going into the first race. We knew that Canada was going to be quick out the gates, so it was for us all about just like getting into our rhythm, staying in control in that middle 1K, and I thought we did a good job of executing that, and then just got really on top of it, coming through Folly, and eventually the rate just kind of naturally came down, just being more relaxed with it. I thought it was good execution, lots to build on for tomorrow.
Yeah, we had a good move. They had a great start, and then we kind of moved out like after 500 around the barrier, and then we made a call to like kind of shut the door, and we moved maybe like another half length, and at that point we were like, we want to do that, and then we kind of like shut it down a little bit. But I mean, they were great competition. We've been training on our own for the last, like Rachel said, like 3 weeks. So it's great to have another crew next to us and just kind of test that speed next to another boat, yeah.
Despite flashes of sunshine, tough conditions continued, as you can see behind me, but top crews persevered and the post-lunch session produced more captivating racing.
It's the eights, it's the Prince Philip Challenge Trophy, Junior Women's Eights. Very exciting racing we've had in this event so far, this Henley Regatta, and away go St Edward's School and Newport Aquatic Centre USA. St Edward's on the left and Newport on the right.
Yeah, as you see, there's certain events you just always think we're going to be guaranteed to see a great race coming down the course, and we've seen this time and time again in this event. This is going to be a really good race. And often with the crews, it comes down to, have we been in this position before? Do we know how to respond? Do we have the confidence that we can soak up that push and go again? But if anything, it feels like Newport is taking the rate up yet again and want to extend their lead.
Newport have found another gear. Really remarkable comeback through the second half of this course. It's Newport moving now on St Edwards. I can see St Edwards starting to raise their rate of striking. That may have left it a bit too late. Newport really moving through very fast.
Yeah, it feels like Newport's soaking up the energy from the crowds and using it every single stroke. They almost, exactly as they did to move up level, they've now done the same to move out that same distance ahead.
Heroic rowing here from Newport School USA, coming through St Edward's School from the UK in the final stages. They've got about 4 or 5 strokes to the line. It's going to be Newport USA ahead of St Edward's by 3/4 of a length. A blistering, highly competitive Junior Women's 8 race. Just as we said at the start, some of the best racing. This is Junior Men's 8s. It's the Princess Elizabeth Challenge Cup. We've got Shiplake College in their distinctive hoops on the far side against Radley. So what's the form here, Tom?
Look, I've been looking forward to this race since it appeared on the docket last night. You've got second and third from the Nationals, second closest to the camera, Radley College. The nearly men, the every men, every single year they're there or thereabouts. Shiplake third at the Nationals. They seem to have found some speed since their winter run. And now as we move live, I think it's Radley with a slight advantage, but a brilliant race unfolding. And we can see their Shiplake starting the charge. They know that it's now or never, and they also know closest to that bank they're going to get the lion's share of the roar that we know is so important as these crews come into the enclosures.
Here comes Shiplake and here come Radley. Lots of local support for both of these school crews. Loads and loads and loads of fans on the bank. The umbrellas are up, but so are the people standing, cheering them on. I think Shiplake are really coming. Radley getting a bit ragged. Oh my goodness, Radley starting to miss a couple of strokes there.
Shiplake absolutely flying. I think Radley looking over too much in their boat. They're staring at Shiplake, and Shiplake take the lead.
Oh, they've got their nose in front, but Radley are responding now. This is absolutely impossible to call. Here comes Shiplake. I think they're going again, and Radley, well, they're starting to crumble. I think Shiplake are going to get this, Tom.
Remarkable. What a row from Shiplake. So mature, so composed. That was timed to perfection.
Wow, incredible. I mean, I think Radley blew their doors off, and they just didn't have it to respond from that incredible attack from Shiplake. They come past our commentary box outside here, whoops of excitement. What a delightful race for them. The ones you remember like that, coming from really a desperate position in the middle of the race for them.
Schoolboy racing at its very best there with Shiplake progressing through to the weekend. Now, one of the most iconic elements about Henley is the one-on-one gladiatorial style racing, and the afternoon session offered up a couple of back and forth barnstormers.
Attention,
Newcastle University, red, white and blue, the top of your screen, on the Berkshire Station, Durham University, Palatinate, and Buckinghamshire Station on the right.
This is going to be a great matchup. Both crews made the A final of back regatta, and Durham has got a silver medal whilst Newcastle came 5th. But Newcastle is adamant that they've been gaining speed throughout the season, so this could be rather close.
They've stuck with them, and look, they're not letting Newcastle go. They've taken advantage of that. I think they've taken their rate up. So when I say rate, how many strokes per minute the crew are taking, you can change that. And Durham look a little bit livelier right now as we come through the middle of the race. It's down to half a length.
Has Newcastle gone too early? Have they got enough in the tank for the second part of this race? Look at that surge from Durham. They're making moves. They're up to half a length right now down on Newcastle, and they're gaining more speed.
Well, there's nothing like being in a crew that is moving, and that is what Durham University are doing on the bottom of your screen here in the Ireland Challenge Cup University Women's 8s. And they are moving back on Newcastle, who we thought at the start of the race were taking it away, but this is coming back into it.
If you're just tuning in, please feast your eyes on this, because this kind of racing is exactly what Henley Royal Regatta is all about, and Newcastle have now taken the lead. Can they hold it through?
They've re-broken them. Newcastle have retaken the lead from Durham University. That was an unbelievable sprint from Durham to take the lead, but they had an answer when it mattered. They took that moment, they grasped it by the horns, and look at them here. They're going to cross this finish line in the island by a length over Durham University. I think I've lost my breath there. That was unbelievable, Pete. So at the start of the Diamond Jubilee Challenge Cup, Wycliffe College B on the left-hand side of your screen versus Lee Rowing Club in orange on the right-hand side of your screen. Coming through Remenham, so they're about 1,500 metres into this race now.
I wouldn't write Lee off at this stage. We've seen some close finishes before. I think this could be another one of them. There is some beach sprints European gold medal experience in that crew. There is under 19s, so Junior World Championship selection, and they had a great win against Surbiton and Los Gatos earlier, so they've actually got one more race in the tank over Wycliffe.
And the heavens have just opened on us. It's absolutely pouring with rain. These rowers have to hold on to their oars. It makes it a little bit trickier. We can barely see them from our commentary box right now. A little look across there from Illis Guten in the bow seat of the Lee. She's telling her crew, we're right there. What have we got in these last few hundred metres? The brollies are out, the rain is pouring down. It can't get more dramatic than this. They've really made a gear change, and they're pushing Wycliffe right to this finish line. Hold your heads up high. Who has got the final 100 metres? Have Wycliffe just about got enough energy in them to stay ahead? I think they have. As we approach the finish line, it's a famous beep for Wycliffe College B. We're going to see two Wycliffe crews tomorrow at Henley Royal Regatta in the Diamond Jubilee Challenge Cup.
Well, it's a lot drier for me on this boat than it was for the crews, but the rain was the last thing on their mind as they battled it down the course, providing the crowds with some top-quality Friday evening sport.
So we are up at the start for another championship standard event, the Princess Royal Challenge Cup for women's single sculls. The holder, Diana Dimchenko, but so many incredible women have won this race over the years. Today we have two scullers from Grosvenor Rowing Club. We've got Sarah McKay, and she's on the left of your picture, and just coming over a little bit is Cicely Madden from Cambridge Boat Club, USA. Sarah Lewis, perhaps a little bit more conservative with the rating. Maybe she's geared a bit harder and she's just moving the boat, you know, more per stroke with that particular gearing.
Yeah, I mean, this race is still up for grabs, and it looks as though Sarah's actually closed some of that gap.
Can Sarah Mackay find a sprint? And she is finding something there. A keel.
She's looking really good here as she comes through. You can hear all the cheers from the enclosure, from the grandstands on the side, and she's really pressing here. But there's the response right there, and will there be enough for her to come back in this race? I don't know.
That's that Tokyo experience, isn't it, from the American. She's really found it. She raced in the double with Ginevra Stone, finished 5th in the 2019 Worlds. Ginevra Stone, a club mate from Cambridge.
Oh, a little bit of a bobble.
A little bit of a wobble, and Sarah Mackay maybe take advantage of that. Ginevra Stone, of course, the silver medalist in Rio, but Cicely Madden, she just holds it together. What a great finish.
So that is weekday racing done and dusted at Henley Royal Regatta. Some have already secured their tickets through to Sunday's finals, but for others, there is Saturday's semi-finals to overcome. It's going to be a cracker. Hope you can join us. We'll see you then.